How's Owen, Trevor?
Yeah, he's all right. He's got a bit of a lump on his head and a bit of a headache, but he's okay. He's up and about now and having a chat, so yeah, he's fine.
Was it an anxious moment for the team then?
I think when anyone gets hit, it's an anxious moment, but I mean the fact that he walked off the field, I think, was a good sign. I think he was a bit dizzy for a while. Took an hour or so for him to come good, but I'm sure the medical staff will keep a close eye on him.
Do you think his injury had any bearing on the overall game? England were already in a little bit of trouble at that stage.
Yeah, no, not really. I mean, we to be honest, we didn't play very well today. Australia played well, and that's what happens, unfortunately. I mean, that's the challenge for this team going forward, and I suppose for any team is for those types of days to happen less and less. The simple fact is, the game of cricket does throw those types of games up every now and then, and unfortunately for us, it was today in an important match.
Trevor, you started the season still in Australia, watching England from afar. But would you have taken this as a sum at the end, kind of a drawn Test series of 1 Ashes, and then the 1 day is the way they come?
Oh, look, I'm a professional sportsman. You want to win every series you play. It wasn't until the New Zealand series, after I'd been appointed, I thought, well, I better have a look at this. Soon I'll be working with him in a few weeks' time. But look, I think one of the good things that's come out of the summer is obviously the way that they've gone about playing their cricket. And every now and then there's going to be a bit of a hiccup like there was today. But I think the development of some of the individuals, not just the team, but some of the individuals, I think have come a long way. And there's some exciting young players, in the England setup, and it'll be an exciting sort of future.
You've been given the tests, both squads, but the UAE in a couple of days. I mean, how much bearing does one format have on the other? I mean, I'm thinking of Taylor and Hales in this series with relation to the test squad.
Well, you'd like to see them in form, whatever style of cricket they're playing. I mean, both guys have had reasonably good championship seasons, so I'm sure they'll be spoken about quite highly, I think, at the selection meeting. If you're a good player in one, you should be a good player in another as well. So, look, they'll be definitely spoken about, I'm sure.
He's finding a partner for Alistair Cook one of your more tricky decisions.
Yes, very much so. Look, I think one of the things is that there's no one out there that's actually putting the hand up and saying I'm the one. I'm definitely the player to pick. There's a number of good players that have had okay seasons. I don't think there's anyone out there that's made 5, 6, 700s. If someone could do that, you'd be putting them in the team almost straight away, wouldn't you? So there's a bit of a message there, or an opportunity for county players that over these coming months and next season, for example, there are spots available. There are spots up for grabs. I'm sure out of all of the young players that have played this year, unfortunately, there will be some that don't make it. And if that happens, that means that there are opportunities there for other county players. Sorry. Oh, look, I'm sure he'll be spoken about as well. It's a tough season to come in. I mean, he played well against New Zealand, so he can obviously play. And I think that Australia's bowling attack that had during the Ashes there's not too many better in the world. So I'm sure he'll definitely be spoken about also.
Do you think, judging by the way England played their one-day cricket across this summer, that you've made the necessary, I guess, quantum leap that you needed to after the World Cup, or does a day like today make you think that obviously there's still a way off?
Yeah, look, there's definitely still work to be done. Definitely, we've spoken about it a couple of times within the group that. In a way, we've tested not the ceiling, but we've shown people how well we can play and what that positive brand of cricket, that they are capable of playing it very well. but days like today, to be the best in the world and be consistent, you've also got to play some smart cricket, and I think that comes with experience. And it is a young, inexperienced team. So going forward, and that's one of the reasons we want to try and give as many of these players some experience. There'll be a natural thinning out of the players. Some will make it, some won't, and it'll be the best ones will be the ones that can play that positive, natural game, but also be able to play some smart cricket and pull it back when they need to.
That's what I mean. He's been hit 3 times in the series. Been hit on the head. Is that a bit of a worrying issue?
Yeah, I mean, we'll probably have to have a look at and see if there's anything technically different he can do. We haven't actually sort of sat down at the moment and sort of had a close look at it or a chat with him about it, but I'm sure that'll be something something that we'll look at going forward.
Does the progress, Trevor, that they have made in one-day cricket this summer give you confidence that by 2019 you can be the best in the world?
Well, yeah, I mean that's probably the aim of 7 or 8 other teams as well. But certainly, the skill level we've got, the teams they've played against and played well this year, are good players, are good teams. So that gives them confidence going forward that they are able to actually not only compete with but beat those better teams. With the knowledge also that they've got a lot of improvement in them yet. They're still only 24, 25, a lot of them. A lot of them only played maybe 10 or 12, 15 games. You put 50, 60, 70 games under their belt and they'll be a lot better players as well.
Trevor, do you have a point in the next 18 months or something, thinking it's a bit more about 2017, the Champions Trophy, where you'll want what you might consider your first 11 on the park in one-day cricket? I mean, there was no Joe Root who latterly got in this series. For example, is that going to be a challenge in the near future for you guys?
Yeah, look, I mean, all the talk's been about the World Cup and sort of having a squad in place maybe a couple of years out from there, if we can, 18 months to 2 years. But obviously with the Champions Trophy coming up in 2017, it'd be good if we could nail down, a squad of 15 or 16, before then, so that they've all got the opportunity to play together in a number of series beforehand. And hopefully that squad's the one that goes forward, to the World Cup, and then a lot of the players that might have 70, 80 games under their belt. But that's not going to stop us playing someone if they deserve to be in it.
Do you think the flip side? I mean, there might be some rest in Test cricket at points, so you can play your best 11 in one-day cricket.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. One of the focuses supposedly on here in England on one-day cricket, but we've still got the focus is obviously Test cricket, and I suppose even from my point of view, I'm a little old school as well, and Test cricket to me is probably the most important as well. But if we've got at some stage, if we've got a focus on the one-day format and the World Cup, some of those decisions, we might have to be looked at.